Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video, and to all of my Finnish viewers, tervetuloa, mitä kuuluu. Today I wanted to talk about something interesting. Now for many who don't know, my name is James and I'm Australian. I was born in Melbourne, Australia, but I live here in Helsinki and I've been living here in Finland for about 5 years now. There's a lot of things that are a bit weird and different that happen here in Finland that you're not going to find in many other countries. So I wanted to make a little list about 10 things that I find a bit weird and strange and different here in Finland. It doesn't mean that they're bad things, it's just something very unique to Finland as a country. I want to quickly say before we jump into it, I'm sorry that there wasn't another upload in the past week, but if I am entirely completely honest, there have been a few things in my personal life that I've been dealing with recently, and I just kind of took the past 5-6 days to relax and clear my head a bit. So I prepared a little mental list. Let's get into it and let's talk about the 10 things that I, as an Australian, find strange living here in Finland. Okay, number one, which of course we have to start with, is just the absolute sauna obsession, which, by the way, can I say, I love it. Sauna is probably one of my favorite things here in Finland. I absolutely love sauna in summer, in winter, it doesn't matter. Any opportunity I get to go to the sauna, I'm going to.
Ne käy saunassa enää ani harvoja mun kanssa, ei edes silloin.
But I don't know if many people know, there are about 3 million saunas here in Finland. I think our population is around 5.5, 5.6 million people, and we have 3 million saunas. So if you think about the ratio of sauna to person, it's absolutely enormous. Sauna is a very big tradition here in Finland and people do it very often. It's very popular when you go to a summer cottage to use the sauna. So you'll swim in the lake, you'll go in the sauna. This can be done in winter or in summer. Sauna is great when you're doing avanto, like ice swimming, which, by the way, I'm going to do an avanto video soon. I'm gonna go ice swimming and show you guys how I do it. Number two that I found very different and strange about Finland, which you won't get in so many countries, the dark winters. I've talked about this in a few videos, so I'm not gonna get into it in too much detail, but I found that strange. When I came here, if you look outside, right now, leave a comment, right now, guess the time. It's only 4:55 p.m. and it's absolutely pitch black here. The sun is rising late too. Here in Finland, in winter, we do not get that much sun, and that's just the way it goes. We only get really properly a few hours of it during the day, and then most of the time it's dark. Luckily for me, I live in southern Finland, in Helsinki. I know it's a lot worse up in Lapland, in Rovaniemi, or wherever you are, so found that quite strange too. Number three, a weird thing about Finland, which I also think is great. Americans are going to be very shocked here, but free education. Here in Finland, education is free, all the way up to the university level as well. People can get free education here in Finland, and school food is also included. It's completely free. Americans will be absolutely shocked to find that out, and also on the healthcare front too. Yeah, education is free in Finland. I think there's always been a massive emphasis on it, and the people here find it important that everybody, regardless of their background, is able to go through an education system. I think it's quite good, to be honest. Here in Finland, the public schools are good, and they're free. Number four, we are the world's happiest people, apparently. I'm going to be completely honest here and say, even as an Australian who has came here and spent a lot of time now in Finland and getting involved in Finnish culture and everything, I wouldn't believe this personally. I mean, I don't really know how you can say a certain country is just the happiest on earth. I mean, I would need to do a bit of research into like the metric that they're going for. But I mean, if if I go up onto someone on the street and say, are you happy? Like they'll say yes. They're not going to tell a stranger their life story probably. So I don't know. It's a bit of a reach to say it's the happiest country on earth. What are your thoughts? Please leave a comment if you think Finland is the happiest country on earth. If you do, let me know why. Number five, Salmiakki. I wish I had some right now, but when I first moved here and actually properly tried Salmiakki, I hated it. It is the weirdest thing. If anyone doesn't know, this is Salmiakki. It's like a licorice, really salty licorice, very popular candy here in Finland. I don't think I've seen Salmiakki anywhere else in the world, but the closest thing I would compare it to would be some kind of licorice. People love it here. Most people are absolute Salmiakki goblins and will eat it at any chance they get. But yeah, Salmiakki. Like honestly, it's weird. If you taste it, if you're from like US and you're used to like normal candies, you're gonna have a strange experience with Salmiakki. You might like it, you might not, but who knows. Bringing us on to number six, not much small talk. That is just a thing that you'll find different here in Finland, and it's definitely, I think, quite common here, is that small talk is not that popular. Like we say, I don't want to generalize too much, but it can vary person to person, but I have definitely noticed it here in general that small talk isn't much of a thing. And I think it's maybe a good thing. Finns like to be direct and kind of straight to the point, and like whatever we need to discuss, we discuss, and not really beat around the bush. Small talk is just not very popular here, and you might even notice it if you bump into someone here, if you're a foreigner. or a tourist, you might find that people don't want to chat too much, or you might find the opposite. But that's definitely a weird thing about Finland that I think a lot of people have experienced and noticed. Number 7, this is a good one. So drinking milk with meals. Please tell me if you guys think I'm absolutely tripping about this. I don't know if this is like a really common thing in Finland, but I found it weird is that it's so common for Finns to drink like milk with meals. But I've noticed that I've got so many Finnish friends who like when they have a meal, if they're gonna have like, let's say like makaronilaatikko, they'll drink like a liter of milk with it. And like everyone, like the milk sections are massive at the stores here. Like everyone's buying milk. Don't know if this is a thing that's really common in Finland. So please tell me what you guys think. But like at least in most of the other countries I've been in, like when I was living in China or in Thailand or whatever, like people rarely drink milk like that. Like you don't see someone go to the grocery store and buy like 7 liters of milk and then like have it with every meal. It's probably good. That's like a shit ton of protein and calories like cheaply. So I mean, it's probably a good thing, but I found it super weird. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you drinking milk with every single meal? So number 8, coming from Australia, I definitely found this strange is that no shoes indoors. I've gotten to understand now that it's just a general respect thing and it's a general thing that you do. When you walk into someone's house, you don't walk in with your shoes. In retrospect, looking back, I realize now that that's very normal to not walk into someone's house with shoes. It's kind of dirty to do it. I don't need to talk on this point for too long, but I noticed that, yeah, the shoes thing is quite funny, but it's probably a good thing. Number 9, going back to the light topic, in summer, we get so much sunlight, you can't even imagine. The sun will still be up at midnight and you can walk around and it kind of just looks like dusk when you're here in south of Finland. But if you're like all the way north, you will get constant daylight. It's absolutely incredible. What is it? Does the sun set for only like 1 hour? That is super, super cool. I remember going to Rovaniemi in Lapland, which is in northern Finland, quite a few years ago in the summer, and I could not sleep at all. I was staying in some little Airbnb, just like in the city center of Rovaniemi, and it was so bright, I remember at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. It was super, super bright. It's funny, it's like we have these big contrasts here in Finland. In winter, you get this cold, rough, dark, windy, you know, horrible weather. And then in summer, you get this luscious, constant sunlight, never ending. It's amazing. So I mean, to enjoy that, you have to pay the price of the winter. That's how I look at it, at least. And this brings us to our last point, which is number 10, and that is the berry farming culture. I noticed this really was a big thing when I came to Finland. I've even got friends who do it, that in the summer, people will just like go into the forest with massive buckets and just farm berries. It's like a super popular thing. And if you're a Finnish person watching this right now, let me know, but I guarantee when you were younger, you probably went and picked berries like almost every summer, at least the majority of you, whether it's blueberries or those wild strawberries that you get in the forests. But in Finland, our forests are super luscious and they're covered in berries in the summer. But that's something that if you're not from here, you will find is like a very quirky and unique thing to Finland, is that like genuinely that I swear to God, there is a berry farming culture. Like it's actually a thing and people are gonna go and do it. So those were 10 observations I made that were kind of like quirky and weird things about living here in Finland. Please do subscribe to my channel. We've been growing quite a lot recently and I'm super, super grateful and I wanna thank you all. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it as well. And quickly to speak on what I mentioned in the beginning, I do want to apologize for the inconsistency. That is entirely on me. It's just sometimes life throws some shit and you got to deal with it. And if anyone else is going through something rough right now, please keep your head up, keep pushing. Things will always get better. And I don't know, if you ever need someone to talk to or someone to unload some thoughts on, my Instagram DMs are always open, so feel free. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you all in the next one. Goodbye.